Go west. That's what we are gonna do. Go west. You and me discussing 6-inch action figures, this is our destiny. Well, if you're going to go west, why not do it in style? The King of the West from Hellcat Studio, in fact, in 1/12 scale, invites you to travel in style on this episode of Flicks and Figs. So if you like Lord of the Rings, here an Aargon stand-in for your collection. One third-party figure to rule them all, or at least supervise them responsibly. So, did you get or have you seen the Gandalf third-party figure? I've mentioned it on Flicks and Figs before, and it's supposed to be a really quality figure. I feel like the likeness on Aargon here is a little lacking, but that could be to avoid any likeness issues. And if you want your King of the West to be allying himself with a can of soda, then that is always an option. You know, just like in the books and movies. Well, not really. They have just used that in these photos for scale comparison. But all forms of soda are available as props for your Middle-earth battles. This video isn't for kids, and if you feel like this episode of Flicks and Figs is a bit upside down and back to front, imagine how Bizarro feels. And Bizarro looks like a creature that could hang out with the orcs from the Middle-earth realm, minus the Superman-style costume, of course. Or perhaps you'd like an armoured-up Green Lantern to visit your Third Earth collection and back up Frodo and company. Listen, they are your toys. Pre-order them and have fun with them. And of course, the Green Lanterns patrol all sectors of space like an interplanetary police force. And if they ever came to the Marvel Universe, they might find the symbiotes. And here we get a look at Mess Toys' Black Suit Spiderman as an amazing Yamaguchi-style figure. And he looks really good. So it seems Mess Toys will focus on original style creations, while CT Toys will do more bootleg-style reproductions, so something for everyone. And here's an upcoming look at Superior Spider-Man on the Revoltech-style Yamaguchi body from Mess Toys. And from Superior Spider-Man to Maximum Spider-Man, feel free to check out my review of Maximum Spider-Man, and I'll leave a link in the comments below, so let me know if you have Maximum Spider-Man in your collection. And Spider-Man has been both an ally and adversary to the Punisher, and Mini Plastic Multiverse gives us a look at the Punisher facing off against Bushwhacker, as Punisher takes the Ramen Toys van for cover. And I'll leave a link to Tom's Instagram in the comments below. And of course, Frank Castle the Punisher was in the military before he became a vigilante, and the latest wave of G.I. Joe Classified will be up for pre-order, and we will know if there has been an increase in price. Hopefully not. But we will see. I like all of these, to be honest. I have Major Blood, but I'll get another one with these new red accents. He sort of looks like he could join or support the Cobra Hiss tank fire team. Which of these guys will you be picking up, if any? And if you fancy some Joes versus Predator, you can grab your NECA Predator figures and have a play. Just like Cull's Cave here. And link to his Instagram in the comments below. And Cobra Commander is going to need his battle armor if he's going to face off against any NECA Predators, or G.I. Joes for that matter. And he's got his pet iguana Serpentor with him. Or maybe this is a Crimson Guardsman Fred in Cobra Commander battle armor with the real Cobra Commander safe in a bunker giving orders. These pics really bring the figures to life even more, and Major Blood and Monkey Wrench are close by for support against Snake Eyes. And Snake Eyes will need all his ninja skills despite having the high ground in one of these photos, as he prepares to get a better look at Esh Figurt's General Grievous along with all of us.
Thanks, Mark. And so here's a look at General Grievous from SH Figuarts. We would have to assume, if we are getting more promo shots, that SHF are planning on releasing the figure. I only mention that as they have previously shown off some Star Wars figures that have never made it into production, and keeping it with SH Figuarts, let's look at Dragon Ball Daima Goku and Vegeta in child form.
So if you want Goku with his little red stick here to fight General Grievous, he can team up with the Black Series Jedi in your collection, or SHF ones, and throw in Snake Eyes Verison 4 from G.I. Joe Classified if you like to mix lines and really have some fun. I think I like to mix my action figure lines depending on my mood, but they are your toys. Really enjoy them and make the most of them any way you want.
And feel free to let me know your thoughts about any action figures in the video comments below. And please do smash that like button, comment and subscribe. And feel free to become a channel member to unlock exclusive content. And from kid versions of Goku and Vegeta, we go to a young version of Spider-Man, or more accurately, Netman, who sounds like someone who uses the internet an unhealthy amount. Is there a healthy amount of use of the internet? Well, that's debatable. There definitely is, if you're watching flicks and figs, haha. So this is Netman in his classic Spider-Man style costume and the black suit version. The photos show some dynamic posing, but like Mezco 112s, you may want to be careful how much you pose these, as the cloth costumes may wear and tear over time possibly. And here's Webman doing whatever a Spider-Man can and being compared to various action figure lines, some of which you may have in your collection. Sound off in the comments if you do! And the question is, if you have a Mezco 112 Spider-Man or a Marvel Legends 1, is Webman something you would be interested in checking out? I mean, we will see Webman battling all sorts of Spider-Man villains in a minute, like the Green Goblin, Rhino and Electro, whilst Peter Parker takes Mary Jane on vacation, I guess. So he can definitely handle Spider-Man's rogues gallery of villains, should the wall crawler from the 616 Marvel Universe need a break.
So the effect parts that come with Black Suit Netman are really nice and symbiotic in nature. I think Black Suit Netman is the figure that could do with some improvement. The back of the costume looks a bit rushed or messy in my opinion. From some of these photos, they do both pose nicely. Although as mentioned, it's worth noting that the fabrics and textures may fray or crease over time. Hopefully some YouTubers get these in hand at some point to give us some reviews.
And feel free to let me know your thoughts about any action figures in the video comments below. And please do smash that like button, comment and subscribe. And feel free to become a channel member to unlock exclusive content. And as you can see from these photos that make J. Jonah Jameson a little happy, and hopefully Flicks and Figs viewers, Netman and Black Suit Netman can team up together. Remember, it's definitely not Spider-Man if the mouse and his lawyers are watching, although I'm a small fish, so spoiler alert, they definitely aren't watching. Perhaps Netman and his symbiote counterpart are on a mission together against Spider-Man villains. You can have one in your collection. You can have both. It's really up to you. If I find a link for these, I'll add it to the comments below. I think I have seen them on V's Toys Box before in the past, but don't quote me on that. And for all the latest Marvel Legends news and reviews, check out Dan Who Reviews, and also all these great YouTubers who cover action figure news and content, and these UK independent retailers where you can purchase and pre-order all the latest action figure goodness. And you can watch Joe's and Juice for some great G.I. Joe classified content on his channel, featuring me. And Dan Who, our host, and Tom Mini Plastic Multiverse, and Turtles and Tea on Dan's channel. And speaking of TMNT, here's Mirage Comics' Hot Shredder. He's up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store, and probably props and replicas and comics and cocktails, which are showcased in these shoutouts.
And Hot Shredder appears shirtless, and another character, We Are Getting Shirtless, is the Trick, or Treat Studios' 6-inch comic The Crow. So the articulation looks a bit limited, but I guess we will see. We haven't really gotten any comic The Crow figures as far as I'm aware, only movie ones. And I wasn't totally aware there was a The Crow comic until this reveal at New York Toy Fair 2025. That feels like ages ago.
And I do have a New York Toy Fair 2025 recap video on the channel, and I'll leave a link to that video in the comments below. And we saw Netman earlier, and Netman needs an ally or adversary to deal with. And there appears to be, what I assume, is a fan-made Yamaguchi-style Punisher coming from someone called Snake. If I get more details, I'll let you know. I'm assuming it's similar to the unofficial Yamaguchi Daredevil that was doing the rounds a while back. And there was a story in Marvel Comics called Punisher vs. the Marvel Universe, where Frank Castle killed all Marvel heroes and villains infected with some form of zombie-like virus in an alternate Marvel universe. And Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead could always do with an ally like that. And here We get a look at Hiya Toys 1/12 Rick Grimes from The Ones Who Live, and this looks like a great figure. I could easily find a place for tactical Rick Grimes amongst my classified Joes. He looks perfect for that. And now I want the Hiya Negan. I'm talking myself into this purchase. And sticking with Hiya in January, here's a look at the Universal Soldiers figures that are incoming. These looked really good when first shown off, and I'm a bit torn now. I think they still look decent, but some pics make them look a bit small, or the clothes too big, or cheap. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Universal Soldier is a funny one, as it's a pretty forgotten 90s movie. The movie posters made it look really futuristic, like the Terminator, but the actual story is completely different to that. It's an interesting enough idea of dead soldiers being reanimated into a special unit. I'll still probably pick these up, but I'm curious to see some reviews of them first. And I've mentioned Punisher earlier, and here's a look at Marvel Legends John Bethnal Punisher from the Daredevil Born Again series. So are you an MCU collector? Will you be picking this up? I do like MCU figures. I used to collect them much more when Marvel Legends was my main line. But I'm more of a Comic Legends collector. That's when I did collect Legends. But what do you think about this version of Punisher? Let me know in the comments below. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Flicks and Figs. Marvel Legends John Bethnal Punisher putting the flicks into Flicks and Figs alongside Hiya Toys Universal Soldier, Rick Grimes from The One Who Lives, Dragon Ball Daima Goku and Vegeta, SHF General Grievous and King of the West all putting in the flicks part into Flicks and Figs. Tell me what caught your eye. What will you pre-order? Are you cutting back on some of these figures and picking and choosing for your collection? Let me know. And until next time, enjoy those flicks and figs.